Hey, how's it going, everybody? Scott Spreitzer here, DocSports.com. My summer series NFL wins totals projections continues. We're going to talk about the New York Giants. A little perspective. We're doing this on May 24th, 2023 for the upcoming season. So we'll tell you a little bit more and get deeper into this as we get into August. But I'm talking New York Giants. Real quick note before we jump into the G-Men. If you're looking for my daily plays, they're exclusive to DocSports.com on my Handicappers homepage. Couple of other quick notes. We will have NFL wins totals videos at least once or twice a week throughout the summer. You can check out my Twitter page at Scott Wins, and I'll tell you when I'm going to post these videos. College football over under wins totals will come a little bit later in the summer. So let's get to it. It is the Giants. The over-under is 8.5. And listen, last year New York under Daboll goes 9-7-1. They made it to the postseason. But if you look at the course of the season, they gave up about 25 more yards per game than they gained. They were all about the running game on offense, finished in the top 5 as far as yards rushing per game. The problem was they allowed almost as many rushing yards per game as they gained. And in fact, they were 27th in defending the run when it came to rushing yards per game allowed. Passing game was weak, as you all know, last year. They also allowed as many points per game, basically, as they scored themselves. They averaged about 21.5 points per game, and they gave up almost 22. The schedule for last year, I get it. There's the old saying, you can only beat the teams that are in front of you, that are on your schedule. But they only had 2 wins against teams that finished above 500. That was the Ravens and the Jags. Those 2 teams combined to go just 19-15. 2-6 against teams that made it to the playoffs. And again, the only 2 wins I just mentioned to you. They lost their other 6 games to playoff-bound teams, and they went 2-7 straight up against teams with a winning record overall. If you look at the last 8 games for the Giants, they went 2-5-1 straight up. The only wins came against Indianapolis and against Washington. As far as this year, a positive signing in the offseason, Darren Waller, the tight end from Las Vegas. And while some are calling the fact that they didn't lose much from last year's roster a positive, it is to a certain extent, but the roster wasn't that talented as it was. I mean, they're going to have familiar faces to play alongside of each other and to buy into the coaching, but again, it's not like an outstanding roster as it is. Schedule this year, 9 games against teams with a higher wins total this season than themselves. That's going to be tough. Only 1 versus a team with the same wins total, and just 7 against teams with a lower wins total. So 7 out of 17 games this upcoming slate are against teams with a lower projected wins total than the Giants themselves. 7 of the first 11 games this season for the Giants are on the road. They go back-to-back twice during that time frame, along with a 3-game road trip in those 7 road games in their first 11 overall. They go at Arizona, which is interesting because that Arizona game falls between Dallas and San Francisco, so it could be a little bit of a sandwich. But at Arizona and at San Francisco, that's early in the season, weeks 2 and 3. Then they go at Miami, at Buffalo. That's October 8th and 15th. But then that 3-game roadie after all of that, November 5th, 12th, and 19th, they're at Las Vegas, followed by at Dallas, followed by at Washington. I have this team going 2-4 in the division this year, which would actually be 1 more win than they gained last year against the division. And I have the Giants winning 7 games overall. So my recommendation here, the Giants under 8.5 wins for the upcoming 2023 campaign. Don't forget, you can check out all my work on DocSports.com on my homepage over there. Follow me at Scott Wins on Twitter. Don't forget about that $60 free account if you're not yet a member. Click on the link below the video. Get yourself set up for that free $60 account. I'm Scott Spreitzer, everybody. Let's put it in the win column.